Hi everybody, Chris here from the shop at Broadstone Golf Club. Trust you're all well and you've had a decent weekend back out on the golf course. Got a spare hour in the studio today, gaps in between lessons and fittings, and just wanted to put a few different theories to the test regarding wedge performance and wedge grooves, and as well as bounce and grind, which I've been looking at some other interesting things in terms of increasing and decreasing bounce angle in a wedge, which is for another time. But one of the interesting things that we've been kind of studying a little bit is the grooves in a wedge and how much difference that really makes to your game. So wanted to hit a few shots for you and just show the difference that you can get from fresher, newer grooves by showing you something like that, which is a fairly old Adams gap wedge we just had lying around in the storeroom. Nice wedge, nice shape, but with fairly old grooves, fairly worn grooves. Just wanted to get a bit of an idea of what sort of shots we would see with a slightly older wedge compared to a new one. So trying to hit about an 85, 90 yard shot. 95, a little bit long, and spinning at 8.6. So spins measured in revolutions per minute. And the higher the spin, generally, the more control you're going to have around the greens, the more control you're going to have of the golf ball stopping. Obviously, quicker around the greens, the more spin, the quicker the stop. So where it's good to have a lower spin and driver flight, we kind of want a little more spin with our wedges. So, hit 4 shots there. You can see the spin rate dancing around a little bit. We've had some that are a little higher. Lowest it's been there, 7,000 revs. 8,000. So it's dancing around that sort of 7,000 and 8,000 revs to spin. SM7, pretty new, fresh grooves. It's one of our demos. It's been hit outside and inside a couple of times, but nothing too heavy really in the usage. It's as good as new, I would say. See the difference. So straight away, first one where we've seen over 10,000 revs of spin. It doesn't sound like a massive amount, but if we're kind of dropping from 758 to 850,000 revs of spin, 85,000 revs of spin, 8,500 revs of spin, sorry. 85,000 would be a lot. 8.6, so a little high, a little low on that one. 10,000 again, so we're hitting that kind of higher, really higher spinning rate a lot more with this. 10,000 again, so seeing a really big jump up there actually, more than I was kind of expecting it to be. You hear a lot of the sort of marketing about how important it is to get new wedges, and you kind of, it's easy to sort of dismiss that as marketing, like most things, but in the middle there, it doesn't lie. You're hitting a few shots with both, and you're consistently seeing that kind of top end being at 10,000. We've had one that's dropped down, but it's pretty much hitting that window every time. And that's giving me the consistency and the carry distance as well. So quite interesting. We can obviously look into this with a little bit more depth with you. I think the biggest thing would be to get it outside and sort of see on the pitching green what difference that actually has in performance around the greens. But you know, every little helps, especially if you think back to our summer that we had last year, where the ground was, you know, rock hard and the greens were kicking it up, and you're pitching onto quite hard surfaces. Extra 200 or 300 revs of spin can make all the difference to your scores. So certainly worth thinking about if you've had your wedges for a little while now and you want to compare some newer ones. So let us know if you wanted to look at any new wedges or any part of your wedge game, short game around the greens. You can do coaching inside, and obviously we still use the pitching green outside as the proof really. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers. Bye.